Okay, so let's talk a little bit about a job search and what a job search is. At various stages in our careers, we will find ourselves in need of undertaking a job search to help us find a job. And sometimes this job search will be a result of involuntary, shall we say, reasons. So the goal of this video is just to give some ideas, some high-level concepts as to how one should perhaps think about a job search and how to go about it. So the easiest way that I can think of to explain a job search is basically a marketing campaign where the product is being sold is you. Okay? A marketing campaign where the product being sold is you. Now, there are some pros and cons about looking at a job search in this manner. On the pro side, you know yourself better than anyone else. You know what your strengths are. You know what your weaknesses are. On the con side of things, it is a marketing campaign. And like any marketing campaign, we have to think about how we are going to target our product, in the case ourselves, okay, to our target market. And we have to figure out ways to find our potential customers, our customers being our next employer. So if we think about a job search in this manner, it can seem a little bit challenging, but it does not necessarily have to be. Nowadays, in this day and age, social media is incredibly helpful to us in undertaking a job search, and it's also incredibly helpful to us in how to go about positioning ourselves the proper way. So let's start off with some basics. Nowadays, even with social media, networking is very, very important. Anyone who is starting a career needs to be networking constantly. Even when you've secured a job, unfortunately, the way that the modern economy is nowadays, you secure a job and you pretty much need to be networking constantly throughout that job, both internally within your company and externally outside of the company, so that you can ensure that you have a vibrant network, that you have a connection of people that you can reach out to if and when the time comes that you need to undertake a job search. So networking, what is networking? Quite simply is going out on a very social basis, and I want to emphasize social, to go out and meet people in your industry, perhaps even outside of your industry. And you would seek to do this by various networking events. So I live in Singapore, and Singapore is a very, very small place. It's quite easy to find any kind of networking event, a seminar, some kind of presentation being presented by companies within our industry. Do make it a point to visit these events. You get to mix with people. Sometimes you have to pay, but it's actually money well spent, because what you will be doing for the next hour or perhaps two is you'll be learning, you'll be meeting other people who will be members of your network. So very, very important, always be networking. And the networking that I just explained is face-to-face networking. Now, we have social media. We can network via social media as well, but my experience has been that social media networking is not as effective as face-to-face networking, in particular when it comes to finding a job. Social media will be very helpful for you to get leads, which is a term that's used in the marketing industry, and really a job search is all about obtaining leads. So back to networking, leads may get you in contact with other people, but eventually you do have to meet them face to face. Okay, that's very important. So what I like to do when I meet somebody, either online or not online, is I link up with them. I prefer LinkedIn. I find it's a professional setting. I'm personally not on Facebook, so LinkedIn is the best source that I can think of in terms of social media networking for purposes of a job search. So I meet people, and I like to meet them for tea. And it doesn't have to be an expensive tea. It doesn't have to be a particularly long session either. You can spend about a half hour chit-chatting with somebody. You buy them tea. Here in Singapore, it costs about $2 for a cup of tea, 2 Singapore dollars. And you get to know somebody. And hopefully, the result of that meeting will be that you will find areas of commonality, that you will find areas where you can help each other. And hopefully you touch base again, and at some point, that person becomes a part of your network and becomes somebody that you can reach out to when you need assistance of any kind. And it's very much based on an exchange, a free exchange of information type of situation. One very important thing that we should not do when we are networking is look at it strictly as a business or transactional type of situation. Nobody likes to be made to feel that they're being used, and unfortunately a lot of people think of networking strictly in this manner. They're very kind of robotic about it. They offer you their name card right away, they shove it in your face. It really shouldn't be that way. Networking should be a very, very soft approach, okay, where you get to know somebody legitimately, and hopefully you're going to make a connection with that person, and the end result of that connection will be perhaps some way that each of you can help each other. But the assumption should never be that, oh, I've just met you and now I need something, please help me, okay? So networking, always be networking, in particular, specifically if you already have a job, okay? You should always be constantly seeking out opportunities, even if you're happily employed.